Good morning, friends. Today we are going to start with major forms of business organization. There are three types of business organizations that we are going to study today. That is sole proprietorship, then second one is partnership, and third one is corporation or public limited company, which is also called as joint stock company. First one is sole proprietorship. A business owned, managed, and controlled by a single individual is known as sole proprietorship. It is also known as sole trader. A question on this particular point will be state the characteristics of sole proprietary form of business organization or enlist advantages and disadvantages of sole proprietorship. As I told you, the sole proprietorship is a business owned, managed, and controlled by a single individual. It is easy to register, or there are few legal terms that sole proprietorship has to complete. It is seen everywhere in every country, every state, every locality, and everywhere. A grocery shop may be a sole proprietorship. The vegetable store, a sweet shop, a chemist shop, and the panwala may be a sole proprietorship. A stationery store may be a proprietorship. Now let us understand what are the characteristics of sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is a business entity with a single owner or operator. Here company is a proprietor and proprietor is company. That means all liabilities that lies on the company, that also lies on the proprietor. A business entity is a professional organization offering something that has real existence. Means a person is a real existing person, and that's why a entity or organization offering something that has real existence. The following factors plays important role in the proprietorship. That is a characteristics of proprietorship. We will learn proprietorship into three terms: characteristics, and then advantages, disadvantages, and suitability of the sole proprietorship. First one, it is the oldest, most common, and simplest form of business organization in which ownership goes to a single person. This is first characteristics. One person can serve as a business decision maker. A decision making is an authority about that business, and it is operated by a single person, so there will be quick decisions. No registration with the state is required, as it is necessary with the corporation or limited liability company. Only a proprietorship certificate is essential to run any business. We are taking Shop Act license. It is a sole proprietorship business license necessary as far as legal matters are concerned. Then next characteristics is it is easily set up and maintained. Maintenance is easy, and it can be easily set up and maintained by an individual person. The owner is personally responsible for assets, income taxes, and business debts. Next characteristics is it is relatively simple to manage and control. As far as legal status of the sole proprietorship is concerned, the proprietor and the business enterprise are one and the same in eyes of the law. There is no difference between business assets and private assets. So next characteristics is that legal status goes to individual person as well as same status goes to sole proprietorship. Then liability. The liability of the sole proprietor is limited, or in some cases that liability is unlimited. Means if I establish a grocery business, I have to purchase a material from the market, I have to sell it in the shop, I have to make arrangement of taxes, then taxes should be done by owner. Whatever business profits are there, it is of a single owner. Whatever losses will be there, it is taken control of by owner. So liabilities are infinite in this business. This is next characteristics. The stability of the business is up to certain limit. That means if a person or a proprietor dies, then that proprietorship collapses, or there will not be a company or existence of that proprietorship. Then there are few legal formalities that everybody has to complete in setting up, functioning and dissolution of a sole proprietorship business. Legal formalities are necessary. A few legal formalities such as Shop Act license, then establishing a current account in a bank, and for day-to-day running of activity. Suppose you are running a restaurant, then you need license from the local municipality commission. Suppose you are running a chemist shop, then a license is necessary to run a chemist shop. So these are few characteristics of sole proprietorship. Then advantages of sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship has several advantages. First one, the owner has no higher authority. He is a boss of the business. Second advantage is it is no legal formalities are involved in forming or dissolving the business. Anytime we can form the business and anytime we can dissolve the business. If there is no legal liabilities, if there is no debts, then we can dissolve the business anytime. Whatever debts are there, that can be recovered from the proprietor. That's why it is easy to dissolve the business also. The money of the business belongs to the owner. If owner is a sole proprietor and he is having whole liability, then profit is also his own. There is no sharing of profit in the business. The money is owned by owner itself. Next advantage is decision can be made quickly. Means owner is a whole and sole authority about the business. He takes care of his customers, and if there is some requirement to the customer, he immediately takes decision despite his loss or profit, and he takes action on that thing. Suppose a chemist shop or restaurant is there, if there is some poisonous food occurred, then it can be replaced immediately by the owner. That decision has been taken place immediately by the owner. Then there is better control is another advantage of this proprietorship. That means owner is a whole authority and he controls his own business. There will be flexibility in operations. It is another advantage of this sole proprietorship. Owner can take decision and switch to next operation immediately. That means he takes a decision about flexibility of operation. Then retention of business secret is one more advantage of this. Secrets are retained by the owner of the proprietorships, and hence there is no chances of leakage of business secrets. Then as owner gets direct profit, direct motivation he gets. Next advantage is personal attention to consumer needs. Consumer is the god for the business, and hence owner himself pays attention to needs of the consumers. He may create employment if he desires so. If the business is expanded, then he can recruit more number of employees under him and he can create more employment. Then next advantage is social benefits. A sole proprietor is a master of his own business. He has absolute freedom in taking decisions using his skills and capabilities. This gives him his self-esteem and dignity in the society. Self-determination, independent thoughts and action initiatives, hard work, etc. are taken by himself. He sets an example for others. He acquires several social virtues like self-reliance. These are few advantages of sole proprietorship. Then some disadvantages of self-proprietorship. Capital is limited to what the owner can supply or borrow. The first disadvantage is that capital is limited and it is supplied by the proprietor only or owner. Then unlimited liability is another disadvantage. Owner has to look after everything, that is profit, he has to look after debits, even he has to look after purchase, he has to look after sale, he has to look after accounting, and everything he has to look after. So he may get less time for selling and making business profits. Then long hours and hard work necessary, and owner may have limited skills. There will be only owner in the business and hence he may have a limited skills, which is desolating our business. Limited life of business depends upon owner. It ends if owner quits or dies. If owner dies, then business ends, because whatever skills that do have to a owner only, and hence a sole proprietorship goes in vain. As this sole proprietorship is run by individual owner, there is a limited capacity of individual person and hence he cannot grow business indefinitely. As far as suitability of sole proprietorship is concerned, sole proprietorship business is suitable where the market is limited, localized, and where customers give importance to personal attention. This form of organization is suitable where the nature of business is simple and requires quick decision. Next, we will go to a partnership firm. A partnership form of organization is one where two or more persons are associated to run a business with a view to earn profit. Persons from similar background or persons of different ability and skills may join together to carry on the business. Each member of such group is individually known as partners and collectively the members are known as partnership firm. Minimal there are two partners and maximally there may be 20 partners in the partnership firm. It is governed by the Indian Partnership Act 1932. There are two partnership types, general partnership and limited partnership. In a general partnership, all partners are responsible for the management and financial obligations of the businesses. Everybody is equal in share, and as far as limited partnership is concerned, at least one partner not active in daily running of the business. Then let us go to the characteristics of partnership. It is mutual agency. Any partner may act as agent or the partnership in conducting its affairs. Means suppose partner 1 act as agent behalf of partner 2 while running the activity, and he may act as principal in the partnership deed, while partner 2 acts as agent behalf of partner 1 for running the business, and he himself act as a principal for running the business. Second characteristics is unlimited liability. The personal assets of the partner may be used to satisfy the partnership creditors' claims upon liquidation. The partnership assets are not enough to settle the liabilities to outsider. Sorry. The partners have unlimited liability. They are liable jointly and severally for the debts and obligations of the firm. Creditors can lay claim on the personal properties of any individual partners or all the partners jointly. Even a single partner may be called upon to pay the debts of the firm. Of course, he can get back the money due from other partners. The liability of a minor is, however, limited to the extent of his share in the profits in case of dissolution of the firm. So, unlimited liability is another characteristics. Next characteristics is limited life. A partnership may be dissolved at any time by action of partners or by operation of law. Dissolution of partner implies not only a complete closure or termination of partnership business, but it also includes any change in the existing agreement among the partners due to a change in the number of partners. So it has a limited life if partners are not relying or they are having different opinion about the business. Mutual partnership in profit. Rather, we can say that a partnership has legal personality, has the right to share in partnership profits. So, sharing of profit and loss is also equal. The partners can share in any ratio as agreed. In the absence of agreement, they share it equally. Otherwise, if partnership deed is registered, then share will be according to registration percentage. Partnership deed is essential to register before any notary or government official. Even it is easy to register a partnership deed in the government. Immediately you can start your partnership deed. Legal entity. A partnership has legal personality separate and distinct from that of each of the partners. There, as I told you, there are two number of persons to start a partnership business, and maximally there should be 20 number of partners. The relationship between the partners of a partnership firm is created by contract. The partners enter into partnership deed through a agreement which may be verbal, written or implied. If the agreement is in writing, it is known as partnership deed. Since individual partners have to enter into a contract to become a partner, they must be competent enough to do so. Thus, minors may not be a partner, but he can be made a passive partner and he does not have any liability. He has a profit sharing partnership. No partner can sell or transfer his interest in the firm to anyone without the consent of other partner. This is another characteristics of this partnership deed. A registration of partnership is not compulsory. It may be voluntary. It may be oral registration or oral communication among the partners, and so it is a voluntary registration. And as I told you, partnership deed can be cancelled any time or any firm can be dissolved at any time. Advantages of partnership. There are different advantages of partnership. First one is fairly easy to start the business, as only we have to register a firm either orally or writings. It is easy to start business. A partnership firm can be formed without many legal formalities and expenses. Every partnership firm need not be registered, as I told you. Second advantage is easier management. Each partner brings ideas and expertise to the business. Partners make more interest in the affairs of business as there is a direct relationship between owner control and profit. They often meet to discuss the affairs of business and can take prompt decisions, so better management will be there. Special taxes on partnership. As partnership is liability between two partners, a tax is shared among two partners. So, whatever liabilities are there, it is divided among the partners, or special taxes on partnership can be shared. More sources of capital available. As compared to sole proprietorship, it has more resources for the business. As compared to sole proprietorship, a partnership firm can pull larger financial resources, that it can enter into bigger operations and can have more credit facilities. It can also have better managerial talent. Even amount that is shared by each partner is larger. Even technical know-how can be shared by each partner. Next advantage is more business skills available, usually can attract top talent into businesses. Suppose a person is one person or one partner is technically sound and another person or another partner is financially sound, then partnership deed can be registered with certain share of profit, and both talent and money can be utilized commonly. So risk is also less into this. There will be another advantages such as better public relationship, protection of minority interest, and sharing of risk are different advantages of partnership firm. Even flexibility in operation is another advantage of partnership deed. Flexibility in operation, protection of minority interest, better public relations, and sharing of risk. These are more additional advantages of partnership firm. Disadvantages of partnership. Each partner liable for business debts made by all partners, even to losing personal property if business fails. As the liability of partners is joint and several to an unlimited extent, any one of the partners can be called upon to pay all debts, even from his personal properties. Even it can be recovered from both the partners or from all the partners. Further, as every partner has a right to take part in the management of the firm, but any wrong decision taken by any of the partner will be recovered from all partners. Second disadvantage is that each partner can make decisions more than one, and there will be more than one boss or potential conflicts. If there are more number of employees in the partnership deed, then employee does not understand whom to listen. And even if all partners is having technical know-how, then potential conflicts may be there in the business. Then next disadvantage, limited life. Partnership ends of a partner quits or dies, and hence whole partnership goes in vain and business stops. The partnership firm does not continue to exist indefinitely. A death of a partner may bring about an unexpected end of partnership. This is another drawback or disadvantage. Next is each partner shares the profit. Profit, if there is a less profit, it is shared by each partner, and so there will be lack of harmony among the partners. Every partner has equal right, and there are greater possibilities of friction and quarrel among the partners. Differences of opinion may lead to mistrust and misharmony, which may ultimately result into losses. Even profits are shared by both partners. Let us switch to joint stock company. A joint stock company is a voluntary association of individuals for profit. It is having its capital divided into transferable shares, the ownership of which is the condition of membership. Joint stock company is also called a public limited company. There will be 7 minimum members in the company and indefinite maximum number of shareholders in the company. So as far as proprietorship is concerned, it is having single owner. As far as partnership is concerned, 2 to 20 partners will be there in a partnership deed. As far as private limited company is concerned, there will be minimum 2 and maximum 50 partners in the company, and public limited company in which there will be minimum 7 and maximum unlimited partners may be there in a company. Public limited company is also called a joint stock company. A joint stock company form a business organization. It is voluntary association of persons to carry on business. Normally it is given a legal status and is subject to certain legal regulations. It is an association of persons who generally contribute money for some common purpose. The money so contributed is the capital of the company. The persons who contribute capital are its members. The proportion of the capital to which each member is entitled is called his shares, and therefore members of a joint stock company are known as shareholders, and the capital of the company is known as share capital. The total share capital is divided into number of units known as shares. You may have heard of the names of the joint stock companies like Tata Iron, Tata Steel Limited, Hindustan Lever Limited, Reliance Industries Limited, and so on. It is governed by Indian Companies Act 1956. The Act defines a company as an artificial person created by law having separate entity with perpetual succession and a common seal. A company is an incorporated association of persons formally usually for the pursuit of some commercial purpose, and as per Company Act 1956 it is established. A joint stock company is a type of corporation or partnership involving 2 or more individuals that own shares of the stock in the company. Now, then let us go for features of joint stock company. A company is artificial person. A joint stock company is an artificial person in the sense that it is created by law and does not possess physical attributes of a natural person. However, it has a legal status, means we can purchase property in the names of the company. We can purchase land, we can purchase any type vehicle, we can purchase building in the name of a company. That means it is artificial. If there is any court case on the company, it will be in the name of a company, not in the name of individual directors. So liability of the directors or shareholders is minimum. It is limited up to profit or loss, not about any day-to-day activity. If there is a managing director in the company, the responsibility or liability is on the post, not on the individual person. While in the proprietorship, liability is directly related to a person because it is not an individual entity or it is not an artificial entity. Whereas partnership firm is also not an artificial person or artificial entity. Second characteristics is or features of joint stock company is separate legal entity. Being an it is a separate legal entity distinct from the people engaged in it. It involves three sets of economic actors: shareholders, directors, and employees. The shareholders provide financial capital in return for a share in the profit, whereas directors' role is to protect the interest of shareholder, to ensure the company is working within the law and it does not trade in any cases of bankruptcy. Directors are appointed by election by the shareholders. There are another entity, that is employees, who work but are legally not a part of the company. It is a separate legal entity. Being an artificial person, a company has an existence independently. Then common seal, third one is common seal. Every company has a common seal by which it is represented while dealing with outsiders. Any document with the common seal and duly signed by an officer of the company is binding on the company. Means if officers sign behalf of company, it is binding to the company. Then perpetual succession. Men may come and men may go, but a company remains forever. It can be wound up only under the provisions of the Act. A company once formed continues to exist as long as it fulfills the requirement of law. It is not affected by death or any type of retirement of any members. Then next characteristics is limited liability. Usually the liability of members of the company is limited to the extent of uncalled or unpaid value of shares held by them. The liability of members of a joint stock company is limited by guarantee or the shares he owns, and he is liable only for his shares. Then next characteristics is share capital. The capital share required by the company is raised by issuing shares. The member who holds the shares of the company can transfer its ownership to any other person without company's permission. Then next, separation of ownership and management. The shareholders do not take active part in the everyday affairs of the company. Elected representatives, known as directors, who, with the help of managers and employees, manage the company. Legal entity, it has separate legal existence compared to its members. The members cannot be personally held responsible for the acts of the company. Large membership, owned by a large number of members. As there are infinite number of members in the company, membership is very large. The formation of the company comes into existence only when it has been registered after completing the formalities prescribed under the Indian Company Act 1956. A company is formed by initiative of a group of persons known as promoters. Then let us see advantages of joint stock company. First advantage is limited liability. In a joint stock company, the liability of its members is limited to the extent of shares held by them. This attracts a large number of small investors or to invest in the company. It helps the company to raise huge capital. Because of limited liability, a company is also able to take larger risk. Then second one is continuity of existence. A company is an artificial person created by law and possesses independent legal status. It is not affected by the death or retirement of its members. Thus, it has a perpetual existence and hence continuity of existence guaranteed. Then third advantage is benefits of large scale operation. It is only the company form of organization which can provide capital for large scale operations. It results in large scale production, consequently leading to increase in efficiency and reduction in the cost of operation. It further opens the scope for expansion. The next advantage of joint stock company is benefits professional management. As company is having large funds, it can hire a technical team and a managerial team. So companies, because of its complex nature and activities and operation and large volume of business, require professional managers in every level of organization. And because of their financial strength, they can afford to appoint such managers. This leads to better efficiency. So professional management is taking place in the joint stock company. Next advantage is there are social benefits. A joint stock company offers employment to a large number of people and hence it facilitates promotion of various ancillary industries, trade and auxiliaries to trade. Sometimes it also donates money for education, health, community services and so on. And last advantage is R&D. A company is having sufficient funds for research and development. It improves production. It also designs new ideas. It innovates new products and improves quality of products by way of research and development. These are few advantages of joint stock company. Disadvantages. First one, formation is not easy. The formation of a company involves compliance with a number of legal formalities under the Companies Act and compliance with several other laws. Second disadvantage is controlled by a group. Companies are controlled by a designated directors or by a group of persons known as board of directors. This may be due to lack of interest on the part of their stakeholders who are widely dispersed and they ignore day-to-day functions of the company. Thus, the democratic virtue of company do not really exist in practice. Speculation and manipulation purchased, excessive government control as it is controlled by board of directors and it also governed by Companies Act 1956. A company is expected to comply with the provisions of several acts. Non-compliance of these invites heavy penalty. This affects the smooth functioning of the company. Delay in policy decisions. As it is not a sole proprietorship or partnership, there will be delay in the policy decisions. A company has to fulfill certain procedural formalities before making a policy decision. These formalities are time consuming and therefore policy decisions may be delayed. And lastly, there will be social abuse. A joint stock company is a large scale business organization having huge resources. This provides a lot of power to them. Any misuse of such power creates unhealthy condition in the society. Example, Reliance is taking control of whole country and having monopoly of a particular business, industry or product, influencing politicians and government in getting their work done, exploiting workers, consumers and investors. So this is what the disadvantages of joint stock company is. Next is suitability of joint stock company. Joint stock company is suitable where the volume of business is large, the area of operation is widespread, and certain business like banking and insurance is a joint stock company. Even health is many times a joint stock company. Next part we will learn in the next lecture.